All right, let's get into it, boys. Let's talk about one of the bigger stories for the week, and probably everybody's favorite story, one of the favorites, maybe. Kotaku, our favorite, Smash AT's definitely favorite website of all time. Kotaku just recently got sold again. Keep in mind, this is not the first time. I believe this is the second time, if I'm not mistaken, or third even.
I think second, but potentially third. It's hard to keep track.
Yeah. So, because Geo Media, I know for a fact, bought them. I just don't remember who they bought them from. But Kotaku just got sold in one of the last sales that Geo Media is having, because Geo Media is going to be effectively closing down once they figure out what they're going to do with their last website, which is as they put it, Black culture website known as The Root. Does Atreus, do you visit The Root?
The only time I visited The Root is when they wrote that infamous article when they said black men are the white people of black culture.
I
remember
that. Yeah, I remember
what article is that?
It was basically an article talking about how black men are bigoted and homophobic and misogynistic, and we're basically the white men. Oh, it wasn't the white people, it was the white men. No, it was the white people. So yeah, it was basically accusing us of being too conservative.
So wait. The website that is meant for black culture is attacking black men. This got to be ran by black females.
Straight black men are the white people.
No, it was a black man that wrote it.
I know.
Probably gay.
If he wasn't gay, he was exceptionally effeminate.
If he was gay, he wasn't like overtly showing. He wasn't like a flaming hot Cheeto.
He's closeted.
Huh?
He's deeply closeted.
Probably. I mean, if he is gay, but it was more like
I found it.
Oh yeah, okay, so you see it.
Holy shit, this is crazy.
Yeah, that was classic, man.
This is crazy. How have I never seen this? Hold on, let me take this. Sorry, StreamYard is lagging.
Right under the radar for a lot of people.
Straight black white people of black.
This is a crazy.
Yeah,
correct. Stupid video. Straight.
What is going on with this?
Is this real? This is a real article.
Secure the bag.
Straight black men are the white people of black people.
What the
he
fuck
had to be
does that
gay.
even mean?
Damon Young has to be gay, bro. There's no way that he's not. Of course, there's no picture. Damon Young is a founder, author of What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Blacker.
Yeah.
Which won the 2020 Thurber Prize for American Humor. Yeah, because everybody laughed at the fucking book.
Oh my god, I'm about to die.
But what is this, man?
This guy's got his own Wikipedia.
The last thing he posted was in August of 2021. That was the last thing. So he clearly don't work here no more.
He has a website, co-founder of a website called Very Smart Brothers. AS.
So his whole personality is being black.
Yep.
I confirm he is gay.
I think I don't know, Kate, if you remember this tweet that I put out about Ryan Coogler, where I said, I can't overstate this enough. I hate soft niggas. Like, this shit pisses me off. That's exactly what this dude is.
But I mean, this is what it means to actually be self-hating, though, to a degree, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
he's also a columnist for GQ, New York Times, and the Washington Post.
Oh,
okay.
The Washington Post.
You know what's crazy? There isn't a single. I'm trying to think back, but there isn't a single crazy journalist that I have seen in the years doing this that doesn't have some sort of tie to New York. Like, there isn't one of them. Like almost all of them are tied to New York at some way, shape, or form, which is crazy. Well, especially Kotaku, which we're going to get into. They're pretty much all based in New York. In any case, Wizard, what are you sharing? What is this?
Oh, I found his Washington Post article. I just want to show the headline because the headline's kind of funny.
What's this?
Ask Damon. My boyfriend died. Then I found out he had another partner.
So he is gay.
Well, no. I think he's repeating something that somebody said.
Yeah, it was like an advice column or something.
I guarantee this fucking guy's gay. I'll put money on it.
Well, he's married.
I would also put money on it.
According to personal life on Wikipedia, Young is married and has a daughter and son.
So you've never seen gay men with wives?
No. I think that this is a Brokeback Mountain situation potentially here going on.
Probably. Most likely. But in any case, this is insane. I never knew about this, and this is actually hilarious. I'm going to read this later. So let's get into the story about Kotaku. So hold on, let me remove this from the screen. Oops, did I kick someone? No, all good. No, we're good. Sorry, fucking StreamYards is lagging. It's making it hard to determine what's happening. So Kotaku was sold by Geo Media, and Geo Media has only one website left, which is the one that we just talked about, which is The Root. And I'm sure they're gonna find someone to buy it at some point. And Kotaku was sold in an all-cash deal, which immediately makes you know that this shit was sold for cheap. This is a poured out website.
Than anyone on the planet curious as to what that number was, because if it was low enough, I think it would have been hysterical if Gabers got together, put a GoFundMe or Give Send Go together and purchased Kotaku.
So think about it this way. There is one deciding factor that would determine, in my opinion anyway, just based off what I know Kotaku brings in and what its potential worth is. I think that this was a sub 1 million deal, which I know some people think might be crazy, but it's really not. I think this was a sub $1 million deal. The only way I could see it going over $1 million, and it's because I don't know whether or not this happened or not, is whether or not Kotaku owned the retail space that they operated in out of New York, which could be expensive, number one. Or maybe had a lease of some kind for XYZ amount of years because they had offices there, right? And the reason why I bring this up is because Kellops, the company that bought Kotaku, at the same time as the acquisition, just supposedly opened up an office in New York. So my thing is, could they have transferred, office or whatever, wherever Kotaku was stationed at? Could they have transferred that to Kellops? I'm not sure. Well, but depending on that.
I just asked ChatGPT to give me an estimate based off of the information, and take this with a grain of salt. But it says, given the lack of public pricing, Kotaku likely sold in the ballpark of 100 to 250 million, with 150 million being a reasonable midpoint. If Kellops sees strong strategic value, especially as part of the growing U.S. media expansion, the valuation could have leaned toward the upper end of that spectrum, which is
no fucking way sold for $100 million. There's just no way.
No, it's saying most likely 150 or more.
So if I was to jump in and throw a point to that, so do they have a user base that they're emailing to? Because that could be worth millions, not hundreds of millions, but depending on how big their email list is, like that's genuinely worth a fortune in today's like modern marketing economy. So
they
that
don't
like
get any interaction
data,
on shit though.
But if it's interaction doesn't mean anything. I'm saying if they have contact information, phone numbers, addresses, if they have an email list or a database. No, but seriously, yes, like working in the marketing world, that is a fortune. So
hold on,
but that's the only asset that they have.
No, hold on. There's something I'm totally forgetting. So I take back what I said. With Kotaku, everything Kotaku has is purchased with Kotaku, and that is including their social media profiles that have an insane amount of subscribers but no traffic. But however, the simple fact is that having that many subscribers, having that many followers, that's worth a lot to some of these companies, especially the companies that are really stupid and think that subs matter over views and whatnot. So their YouTube channel, I'm sure it was worth a little bit. And
no, their YouTube channel was terrible.
In what, views or subs?
Both.
What's the subs at for Kotaku?
I think it had less than 150,000 or something.
I feel like they had more than that.
That's funny.
Yeah, but have you seen what some accounts go for when you try to sell an account for hundreds of thousands of subs?
Should I sell Smash JT for $100 million if I got 100,000 subs?
Absolutely.
You could probably make some decent money.
Yeah, Kotaku's got 350,000 subs.
I think somebody would pay 50 million just to get you to shut up, Smash. I ain't gonna lie.
That's crazy.
Not an insult on you. Just they hate you just that much.
Right.
You have to clarify. It was better when he didn't clarify. You ruined it. Well, I mean, their Twitter account's got to be worth a good amount. 2.5 million followers.
Their YouTube channel has 358,000 subscribers, and their videos they have not posted for 9 months. The latest post
because they fired their person who was doing it.
Right. Alyssa Mercante was the last person to post a video. It was interviewing Kevin Smith, and that was 9 months ago.
Kevin
and it
Samuels.
currently has 2,000 views on it.
Wonder why you died.
2,300 views.
So what's a worse ratio? A YouTube channel with almost 400,000 subscribers getting 2,000 views, or a Twitter profile with supposedly 2.5 million legit followers and getting 13 likes?
The latter, of course.
The both
Twitter one is crazy.
Right. So this is a company that specializes in faking it till you make it. Unfortunately, they never made it, but still the point is.
Hey, by the way, it sounds like they did. If the sale was for 100 to 150 million or more.
There's no fucking way. Especially 100. Nobody's got liquid cash like that, bro.
Dude,
except for Elon Musk.
True. But did you hear Keliops or whatever, the company that bought him, has a lot of investors, and they were very eager to jump in to buy them to try to push forward a message in using the U.S. market. And I gotta think that they don't actually understand the user base of the industry at all.
Maybe, but again, these people have more money than social brains, I gotta imagine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just look at
this. Well,
this.
that's the problem with investors coming into the gaming world, where they don't game. They don't actually know what people like or care about. They just see what sells, and they're like, "Oh, I'll throw money at that." And that's how we end up with shit projects that go nowhere.
2.5 million followers, bro.
That's wild.
13 likes.
13 likes. 15 likes.
Oh,
the simple truth. Here's the simple truth, okay? Because
11 hours ago.
I've seen some Kotaku posts go viral, and guess which one of those? Guess which ones of those?
The gay pride drama.
Talking about people.
Not talking about people. Yeah, shit talking. Exactly. Like anything that is actually classified as rage bait is the only ones that go even remotely decent for Kotaku. Other than that, they don't give a shit about this. Nobody cares about fucking Kotaku, bro. It's very clear in the numbers. Look, 12 likes, bro. How many posts we got to go before we get somewhere?
Christ.
17 likes, 12 likes. Look,
go
26 likes,
with 100.
22. I'm trying, bro. 30. I'm going to be here a while. 17, 13,
Bro, you
14,
combine all those numbers,
33.
That don't even amount to like my last fucking
34, 27, 43, 14, 15, 18, 19, 85. Okay, this one. What's this one? Battlefield 6 reportedly has a massive budget. Okay, that's a little bit of a crazy headline. 400 million. But still, only 23,000 views, 85, right? 13, 17, 8, 10.
Like, it's so
21.
Bad. It's so bad that you got to wonder: are they being throttled by X? Because there's no way.
No way. Not with those views.
So
Look at the views.
The truth is, they got these numbers
paid
beforehand.
for their followers.
They did.
Yep.
This is the same thing we see with the people that orbit these same companies, right? The people, the fucking shills out there, the Booty Adams of the world, bro. They all do it. Every single one of them do it.
And you can tell because the only one that actually has authentic followers, despite the fact that they're degenerate and morons, is Alyssa Mercante. She actually gets more engagement than a lot of.
But every post she does about Rage Bait is the one that does good. Every post she does do about Rage Bait.
But that's what I'm saying. It's organic.
Her entire account. Other people out for that, by the way.
Her entire account is Rage Bait, so that's why she gets traffic.
Bro, 6 likes, bro. 6.
That's
6
crazy,
likes.
dude.
That's funny.
It's like, and again, you could the same thing I'm looking at here is the same thing that's on like Booty Adams' Twitter account. He's got what 27,000 followers supposedly,
and you can't see who likes it. So for all we know, it could be Kotaku liking it and their own editors liking it.
For sure. Look, this one about Abubakar Salim's new game coming up. 19 likes, bro. Like I'm struggling to find something that is doing decently well. Oh, here we go. 95 likes. What's this? Squid Game? Yeah, whatever.
Still not 100, by the way.
Whatever.
This one, 34.
Squid Game, okay.
Oh, okay. Look, Megan 2 flops at the box. Oh, we using terms like this now? I thought only Chuds.
I didn't even know that.
Jason Blum confirmed himself. He said that it flopped.
Yeah, but we're using terms like that now. I thought that was only what rage baiting Chuds used.
Right.
Yep.
Because they complain all the time on Twitter. They're like, "Oh, the rage baiters."
Oh, that shit came out. They actually released that.
I didn't even know that.
I never released. Right.
Oh, by the way, this child robot, she's an LGBTQ icon. I don't know if you saw that video I made, but apparently they see themselves. Damn, the word I was about to say was really fucked up. They see themselves in a 13-year-old robot. That sounds really bad. Really bad.
Go for it. Anyway.
Go for it. Anyway, I had to commit. This shit, it's a struggle bus, bro. 9 likes, bro. 12 I can't find anything. So they've been clearly lacking. And the simple truth is that Kotaku only has I believe 2 journalists left. Maybe 3. I think it's 2 journalists and an editor-in-chief, I think. Right? So you got Carolyn Petit, who he is the editor-in-chief, right? And then you got Ethan Gack.
That dude still got a job.
Yep. He survived. Shit. I wonder why. And you got Ethan Gack, and you got who's the other one that's at Kotaku? There's really not that many left. So in terms of personnel transfer, there's not much of that either. So this is why I don't think this company's sold for very much.
They got
especially
Austin
since it's all
Williams
cash.
is the editor-in-chief, Carolyn Petit, managing editor, senior reporter Ethan Gotch, associate editor of Tips and Guides Claire Jackson, staff writer, the one you were probably thinking of. There's 2 of them, Kenneth Shepard and Zach Zwiesen, and freelance editor John Walker. And I will tell you guys, my experience of covering these people for the past year especially, they are, I don't know how they have a job bad at what they do.
Yeah,
like,
really
how
bad.
are these people employed? Still,
Are they all
mind-boggling to me.
They're not all journalists, though.
No, they are.
Are they?
They are, quote unquote, the Kenneth Shepard, Zach Zwiesen,
But did you see what
and
Elisa
John
McCarthy
Walker
had
are
to say
all
about
people
all
that write articles at Kotaku.
Hey,
how they're so excited because now it's being sold up to a company they want to press them and make them want to talk about video games versus the activism they want to do. Yeah.
So there's a good chance because so Smash ran it through ChatGPT. I just ran it through Grok, and Grok is saying on the highest end is 15 million.
That's more
Kotaku.
believable.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
On the highest end. It says that it's more realistic that it's sold anywhere between $5 to $8 million. But on the highest end is 15.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, 2 million is the number.
They're even with all of these views, the only thing that Kotaku would be worth is not its employees, right? Not its traffic, not its social media presence. It's personal data of people that have registered for this company over the last 20 years. That's the only value that this company has right now. Like their access means nothing. Crazy. So like, oh, well, we have access to, but it's nothing. It means nothing because it's not attracting new views.
Can I say
something? I found one finally. New Xbox 360 update adds 20 years later, 369 likes. Finally.
Can I say something? So after Real Life Wizard said that, I wrote back to ChatGPT. I said, Grok is saying 15 million. And ChatGPT wrote back, if Grok is estimating Kotaku is worth 15 million, that actually tracks with the realistic market value of a declining digital media outlet in 2025. Here's what
How you get roasted by ChatGPT? That's crazy.
That's crazy.
ChatGPT is like, on second thought, my superior Grok.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna trust Grok on this
like real shit.
That's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, so I think it's definitely single-digit millions. Obviously 1 million is probably too low. I don't like this company. Realistically, though, 2 to 5 million is probably where it's at, especially since it's an all-cash deal. I mean, most of these companies have that amount available for them to utilize. And like you guys said, they just bought up their information, bought up their data, basically, and then they do with that as they want. They're probably going to take that data and spread it out throughout all their websites that they own and see what they could do with it, see what targets they could hit. Because this Kalops owns Gizmodo now. Well, they also bought from Geo Media, by the way. So according to them, they're doing 400% better than what it was when Geo Media owned it. But that could mean anything. 400% of 5 is, you know what I mean? Like it's all corporate speak.
The optimist in me looks at the situation as buying a stock low and hoping to sell high with Kotaku. But the problem is what they're saying doesn't line up with that. They're like, we're going to keep all the people there. We're going to keep, I'm like, if you want to fix the problem, you buy it, fire everyone and start over fresh. You don't keep the sinking ship and add more water to it. That's not how you bail it out.
Yeah.
Well,
the problem is you would be better off
right?
funding something fresh. Like buying Kotaku, it has such a bad reputation right now. For like all gamers, it's got a bad reputation. I have 100 Snapple facts of terrible things Kotaku has done.
Bro, these Snapple facts are going to be a new thing. I'm telling you, man.
I'm here for it, man. They're really funny. But like, you would be better off funding a new project entirely. take that 15 million and start something new with a new brand, and that would be better off.
Well, supposedly, the person in charge over at that new company said that they're going to be speaking with the people who work at Kotaku, mainly the editor-in-chief first, and then kind of working their way down, to my knowledge. So they may not keep them, but I mean, let's be real. Chances are they're going to. What they're going to do is let them continue running the ship, bring in their own people, let the people get acclimated, and then slowly but surely, one by one, they'll get rid of the old people, except for the trans guy, because, you know, optics.
I don't know. I think they might even get rid of the trans dude.
Last, maybe, but not first.
One can hope.
It's 2025. They might get rid of him first.
But even maybe. But even if he does, like, what are they gonna do? Because at the end of the day, Kotaku's.
You know what they would do? I'm glad you asked.
Oh boy.
Because I just asked ChatGPT, how would you turn it around? You know what it said?
Oh my god. Go ahead.
You know what it said?
Go ahead.
And just wait to see if this happens. I'd be very fascinated.
You're not beating these AI allegations, Smash. I'm just saying, man.
I'm not trying to right now.
Fair enough.
Option A would be to rebrand, and that would be a soft rebrand, and change the name to something like Checkpoint, Critical Hit, or even K Reloaded, or something like that.
That would defeat the entire purpose of buying them.
Yeah.
Unless they needed the data from it.
Unless they needed the data from it.
Yep.
So
you're thinking just buy it for the data and then rebrand the website and hope for the best?
I think that's what they're going to do.
But wouldn't that be kind of like admitting defeat in a way? Like, in a sense of, I mean, I know they don't have any investment because they just bought the company, you know, in terms of like the culture aspect of Kotaku. And to be fair, the other websites that they bought from Geo or other places didn't have the same baggage that Kotaku has. Like, Kotaku's notoriously hated. Right? I don't remember everybody notoriously hating Gizmodo. I'm sure there was some journalists that annoyed people every once in a blue moon with an article that was clearly bullshit. But Kotaku is notoriously hated all across the board from a lot of different people, not even just what you would call right-wingers or anybody. Yeah. I mean, I've talked to some people behind the scenes, and they will remain nameless, but they talk a lot of shit about Kotaku and what they do. So, you know, it's one of those things like, sure, you can rebrand, but I feel like if you rebrand, then everybody's going to take that as, well, you're just admitting that you couldn't rock with the name because the name is just, it's complete shit at this point, which is what everybody says. And they've been in denial the whole time. You know, like a certain journalist out there that claims that this is a great thing. Like, this is fantastic. Oh, it's so amazing. Because now, I'm sorry, ex-journalist. I apologize. Now they could get to do what they want to do, and they're not going to be held back by the evil white man that was in charge over at Geo Media. You know, it's like, what exactly do you think they're going to do? You think this company's just going to let them run amok? Probably. Let's be fair, because it is UK based. They're hardcore activists over there. You never know. But it's like, at this point, Kotaku is a joke because all they do is escape bankruptcy, escape closure by getting constantly bought out by companies. They want to subsidize them for as long as possible and use them to push their messaging while they can. And then when they're worth nothing anymore, they get sold off again. And like you guys said, the only reason why they're even getting bought is because of their data. If Kotaku was a 5-year-old company that was hated this much, chances are they'd be closed by now. They probably wouldn't be bought out. And if they were bought out, it'd be next to nothing. This legacy of Kotaku and the amount of data they have over the decades, that's the only thing that's really keeping them around. That's why they keep getting sold off instead of getting closed off. Because that is worth something in today's world.
Kotaku is the right company that's getting Kotaku is the company that's sucking all the right dicks. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I would say so. Or they're just the you know, they're like they're that little bit of cancer that doesn't go away with chemotherapy, and every time
oh, it's benign.
Every time you think that you got it, it comes back, and right before it kills you, they put you back, you know, in chemo again and hope for the best.
They're the black people of the gaming journalist world.
So I actually have some data here. So ComScore. So there's this website called ComScore, which like provides statistical data. So they're saying that Kotaku has around 3 million users. That's of all time. So that's 3 million users. Now, typically, those marketing lists that I was talking about, they sell for $1 per user. So you're looking at minimum $3 million. That's the ballpark of what Kotaku sold.
Wait, hold on. Wizard, hold on. So
yes,
they have 3 million users in their lifetime.
Lifetime. That's yes. Kotaku is estimated by Comscore, not us, chat, not the panel here, an actual massive company that does this. 3 million users lifetime on their website.
They've been around how long exactly?
2004.
I was gonna say 20 plus years.
Yeah.
3 million. Oh, what? No way.
Yeah, founded in 2004, Kotaku reaches 3 million users in the US per Comscore.
Oh, in the US, but they might have more outside the US.
Max K is saying wrong. $1 CPM. That's per 1,000 users.
Well, I'm just going by what Variety has here, so I'm still looking at it in real time.
But I mean, if that's true, if it's $1 per 1,000 users, that's even worse by a large margin. By a large, then I would be accurate in my numbers initially.
So, I mean, we're literally pulling it up in real time.
So
I'd imagine it was going to be less than what they would like, because it sounds to me like Geo Media was looking to offload this to anyone that would buy it.
Well, that's true, because they've been shopping this since last year. Because I remember doing videos about rumors about a potential sale, even before Gamergate 2 happened.
Yep.
So this has been talked about for a while. And if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe there was a article or story or something along those lines last year where they said that they tried to offer up bids to multiple companies and basically all got rejected. I almost remember that story.
I vaguely remember something like that.
So it's clear. Listen, regardless of whatever it is, Kotaku sold for, you can argue pennies compared to what other websites sell for. And at this point, Kotaku is only worth its history, which, even though the history that, I guess it's in the culture aspect is not that pretty, but from a data aspect, it's pretty enough to spend some money on, and that's $1 million, $2 million, $3 million is chump change for some of these companies, man. So $3 million for 20 years of data, you think they care?
There's been a dynamic shift in the valuation of websites in general since the rise of YouTube. Like it just and X as well. Because it's like nobody, I mean, yes, people still do go to IGN, people still go to Games Radar, whatever, thegamer.com. People still go to these websites, but not like it used to be. Now it's just people want their information, they have the people they watch, and they go to either X to who they follow, or they go to Twitch or YouTube or Rumble or Kick, and they just listen to the people that bring the information and almost filter it to them more directly than a website could ever do. And
I think you just lose them. I think you lose the middleman now. And that's what a lot of these journalistic companies were. They were the middleman. They were the filter for the industry. And now when it goes both directions, for the industry, it's better because now they can just post on their social media and craft whatever message they want. It won't even have to get filtered. Even though these guys were their cronies in a lot of cases, they're like, we don't even need to worry about these guys anymore. We can dump whatever message that we want directly to the consumer. They can take it or leave it. And then we as the consumer, we're a lot more discerning. And it's a lot easier to gauge somebody's taste, right? So you watch somebody's videos a few times and you're like, this person likes the same type of games that I do for the same reasons that I do. It's pretty obvious about it. I can see them talking about it. Whereas through an article, you don't build that rapport that you do, and reviews are just not as thorough the way they used to be. So I think that market is dying, and I think the people that used to read articles, they don't read them anymore, and the generations that are coming through now, that's a foreign concept to them to begin with. So I just don't see any even growth potential in that market, even for websites that may still have a decent reputation. You have to change the model.
To that point, I would argue it's just to piggyback off that and add on to it, because you're absolutely right. It's only getting worse because with AI entering the picture, as many of us have seen with some of these potential fake journalists with just AI articles, it's getting even harder for the average person to give a shit about what's even being posted. So even more so, it's driving them to watch people that will filter the information that they actually care about to them.
Yep. And once we start talking about the Microsoft stuff and some of the crazy stuff with even executives recommending just go to AI to write your resume and all this stuff, and it'll make you feel better.
I just did that recently, man.
This is just permeating everything, man. It's all over.
Leave it to a nigga to find a shortcut. You
Yes, man.
Oh man.
So this was obvious. You know, we've been saying this for a long time that this was going to happen. I really thought at this point this would be it. You know, but then again, there was a couple factors I guess I didn't consider, especially with their data. So it's not surprising they got sold off again. But this company,
so I could tie that up real quick just to play on what Max K was saying. So I just pulled this up. So if I was to buy regular, and this is kind of where I work, regular consumer email lists, then what Max was saying in the chat is right. You're looking at $100 to $400 per 1,000 users, but that's not segmented. So here, if Kotaku had some good sales cred, you're looking at a highly targeted list. They could have been charging anywhere from $1 to $5 per contact if they were selling this right, which puts them at $3 to $15 million.
Makes sense
for the value of their US list.
But unfortunately for that company, I don't think it's worth that much though.
Oh, it's not.
Oh, I still think that's crazy. I mean, imagine the amount of valuation that was lost over the past 10 years on Kotaku, what it used to be valued at and what it's valued at now. Like it probably used to be valued at 150 to 250, and now they sold it for $3.
Fucking A,
or
bro.
less.
What did Geo Media buy Kotaku for?
Oh, I don't even know. Let me check.
Did Geo Media buy Kotaku for? Let's see. Is that even public information? Probably.
I don't know. I was just going to
ask. Undisclosed amount. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Okay.
Of course.
Okay. Of
Why?
course.
This stuff should be public. It's so annoying how it's all private.
It's private acquisitions, so they don't have to tell us, but they should.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
How does that work with taxes, though? Can you check their tax returns to figure it out?
They would have to report it through their taxes, but they may be able to. They may be able to hide that in the same way that Disney hides their acquisitions. Like,
I mean, it's cash deal, right? So,
right. There are ways to hide it, but they have to report it.
They got really good accountants. Let's just say that their accountants are probably paid almost as much as the fucking lawyers half the time. They're that good. The amount of books, fuck around nonsense they got to do. All right. Well, that's basically it for Kotaku. Any last words before we move on to the crazier story, which is all the Xbox nonsense? And
good riddance.